Day 2190 of building my own fitness tech startup. Now, I would say probably one of my greatest strengths is creativity. And I think it's something which I've underappreciated because, when you have something that you're good at, you don't necessarily recognize that perhaps other people might be interested in trying to be better at it as well. So I thought I'd probably share a couple of things that work really well for me. I suppose, well, actually just one thing which works really well for me. Because I think there is an element of environment which is important, nature versus nurture. But the thing which I think a lot of people don't use, which would be really helpful, is their non-conscious brain or their unconscious brain. So we have something called the prefrontal cortex, and this is all about problem solving. But it's a very sort of present moment part of the mind. However, we've got something way older and way bigger, but it just takes a bit of warming up. And it's the rest of the brain. I'm no neuroscientist, so forgive me for my very sort of basic understanding of things. But the best thing you can do with creativity is you can try and do the task that you're trying to do. So for me, for example, I was working on website development this morning. And I got to a stage where I've been working for a couple of hours. My brain, my human brain, you could say, my prefrontal cortex is probably a bit tired, so it needs a bit of a break. Just step away for a few minutes. But what's funny is, whilst you step away, the old part of your brain is still thinking. It's still sort of putting the pieces of the puzzle together for you. You can go off and have your lunch, talk to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, call your mum, whatever. But the other part of your brain is still working away. And by the time you come back to it, all of a sudden you've solved that problem. You've fixed whatever it was you were stuck on. I can't tell you just how many times this has worked for me. When people say to sleep on it, that's another example. I mean, that's probably the most powerful example, is to sleep on it. Because you just see things that you didn't see before, I could be playing a video game, for example. Like Zelda's particularly bad at this because there's so much problem solving there. You could be playing for like 3 or 4 hours and all of a sudden you just get so stuck on something. Step away and all of a sudden you think, how did I not see this before? And the correlation between, stuck, take a break, come back and solve it, has happened to me for a long time now. And I know people have written about this, but I just thought it'd be great for me to be able to share that because it's been so useful for me, and hopefully it's useful for you as well.